questions or any questions, anything you want to know, anything you want to discuss, send us an email at femtalktv@gmail.com or come on the show while we're live and talk to us directly because you know we like live conversation too. So come out, you're on now. Send some stuff. We might be able to get to it. You never know. So today's question, ladies. You know, I got my glasses on so I can read the question today. I'm starting to feel like I'm getting left behind in life. I know everyone's time is their own, but it's hard to see my friends getting married, buying houses, having children, dreams, careers, etc., without leaving or without feeling like I should be there. I'm happy for them, but it's hard. What should I do?
Can I start this one off, please?
Sure.
Because I've been having this conversation, not for this question in particular, but just about moving, right? And we talked about this at the leadership summit, right, this year. But about moving, it's about taking those steps towards the places that you want to go to, towards the things that you want in your life. And, you know, everything's not going to happen perfectly and it won't always happen as you expect it. But as long as you continue to take the steps necessary to move you forward in the direction that you know you should be going in, if you're called to it and it is a desire for you, take the steps and keep taking the steps. Don't stop. Right? It is accomplishing dreams, getting the things that you really want in life. It is a lifelong journey and it changes and it shifts and it grows and it progresses. So just keep taking the steps, keep moving forward to where you want to be. And I have to say one more thing about that too. Be honest with yourself about where you want to be though. Don't look at everybody else's life. And we've talked about this on this show before, right? Don't look at everybody else's life and think that that's where you should be. Take a true assessment for yourself of your own life and where you really see yourself going, and then start to move in that direction. Don't base it on somebody else because you don't know what their story is. You don't know what their journey was like to get there. And you don't even know if they're happy in the place that they're in. So, you know, take a true look and assessment for yourself.
I love that.
Yeah.
I agree, Tracy. I think that's what it is. I think too often we all, the grass always looks greener on the other side. And I always tell people, be careful. It may be astroturf. You can't just always look at what somebody else has and then want that. I was a late bloomer as a kid, and I used to, always watch everybody else in there. Oh, I wish I had, and and I learned that I didn't need what they had. Right. My life was going to look different, and I had ebbs and flows in my life. Yeah, I got married early. Yeah, I have 3 kids, but some of those years are a blur. I was not ready for them. I didn't, I feel like I was just moving, just living, just being, not really fulfilling, you know what I'm saying? So it's easy to look at me and say, oh, I want that, but you don't know what we went through to even, you see Lamont and I today as a pair, as opposed to Lamont and I 15 years ago, you go, oh, okay, maybe not me. Because again, you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what they're struggling through. Yeah. So I just say, look at what you have and walk the life that you have. One of the things I read recently was, Ecclesiastics that talks about there's a season for everything. For every season, there's a time. There's things that, and you have to know the seasons of your own life and live it. If you spend that season looking at somebody else, you'll miss that season of your life.
Yeah.
Enjoy every season.
Yeah.
I have to say what you both said is, I just have to put them together, combined. You can't stop moving. You can't stop walking in whatever your journey is or your path is. And you can't spend your time. The sad part is you shouldn't spend your time looking back, and you shouldn't spend your time looking forward all the time. Because then you miss what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And then when you're comparing yourself to everything else, how do you enjoy the things that you actually are encountering? How do you enjoy the things that are actually happening?
Yeah.
I guess I'd have to, if I had to step outside myself, and this is my own personal, I guess, testimony, and this has been that type of week or month. And they know that. I'm pretty sure they're like, well, let's see if she's just gonna tell her own story. We don't want to tell her story. But this is absolutely that month where I feel those things. But what I have to realize that, I didn't have children younger. I didn't get married younger, but I traveled the world extensively.
Mm-hmm.
Would I've been able to do that with children and a husband? I may have, but I may not have.
Right.
So I can't spend my time thinking, well, you could have did that 25 years ago. Maybe it wasn't meant 25 years ago.
Yeah.
I love that you said that, Shima.
Yeah.
I have not gone out of the continental United States, and I'm almost 60 years old. I have not been to Africa, to Europe, to, China, to Japan. I haven't done any of those things. I remember my commitment to my husband because we didn't have a lot of money. And every year we said we was going to, no matter what, was going to go away. I can't tell you how many 18-hour drives we did to Florida because that's what we could afford at the time. And we've done that for years and years and years. So to your point, I didn't begrudge that season. I didn't begrudge the season where our trips is about great adventures or, or Disneyland or Disney World or Busch Gardens. That's just what it was.
Right.
Now I'm looking, my husband and I will talk about it later. We just planned a nice trip. And I'm excited about it. This is the first time we would do something like this. So again, like you said, we couldn't do that before.
Yeah.
And I also want to say, because, I said this to my bestie yesterday. It doesn't mean that you don't want it. It doesn't mean that it doesn't bother you. It doesn't mean that you're never going to feel those pains or those feelings of angst. You're going to have them because it's what you want.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong for wanting your dreams. There's nothing wrong with wanting what you want in this life because that's what God wants for us.
Mm-hmm.
He wants what we want, but we want him. He wants us to want what he has for us.
Right.
Amen.
But he also wants us to have the desires of our heart, the real. So I say that to say, it doesn't mean that you don't want those other things. It doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt that you don't have it. But I'm going to give you a little tip that works for me. It may not work for you. I don't have children, but I have immersed myself in the lives of so many other children, so many other families, some of my friends' children, that I still get those feelings of mothers nurturing and love and just feeling like you can pour into a child and a child pours back into you, and I still get to go home and watch nobody. I still get to go out every night if I feel like it, or leave the country whenever I feel like it. So you have to embrace the elixirs where you get them.
Yeah. Oh, and I love that you call them elixirs.
Oh,
Yeah. And because we're talking about faith too around this topic, right? And what God has for us and what he wants for us, right? Nothing happens. We've talked about the moving. I'm going to go back to that because nothing happens. God doesn't give us things if we're not moving, right? God moves with you, right? So I wanted to mention, when the faith-based people out there who talk about, I'm waiting on God. Don't sit and wait. God wants you to move and he's going to move with you. So I wanted to mention that too, because a lot of times people confuse it with, I'm just going to sit and I'm going to wait for God to tell me. No. God is not going to talk to you out of the bush, right? He's not going to talk to you out of the bush. You're not going to go to the ocean and the water's going to split. I'm sorry. You're going to have to move. You're going to have to take your own steps, and then he will move with you and guide you along the way. But you got to move first. Right. So I wanted to mention that part too. Don't sit and wait. Move and listen. Move and
listen.
Yeah.
It's an active part.
Yeah.
It's an active part.
It is an active. That's
it's an active. You can't get the victory if you don't go to the battle.
Right.
You win. You win.
That's
God says you win, but if you don't go, there's nothing happening. There's a loss every time you decide not to.
That's right.
Because the win is in the faith of going, is in the belief of going. That's where the win is.
That's right.
And enjoy where God is pulling you, and when you well, however you get there, just enjoy it, embrace it. It's like being able, tonight there's a pink moon. Go out there and look at the pink moon and just enjoy why God made a pink moon tonight. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Right.
enjoy
Be in the
life.
moment. Don't stay in the
Be
moment.
in the
But be in
moment.
the moment. It's a
Mm-hmm.
difference.
There's a whole book, and I'm going to have to get the title of that book, but there's a book that I read, and that's exactly what it talks about. It talks about enjoying the journey. Shima mentioned earlier about, don't always look back. You look back to learn from it, but you don't look back to stay
You
there,
stay.
right? To get stuck there. And then you look forward to understand what you really desire, but you don't go so far ahead that you can't focus on today. And the
Right.
book talks about enjoying the journey. I'm going to get the title of the book, and we're going to have to put it on the show page, but it's an amazing book about really just kind of taking step by step and enjoying your journey as you go along the way. So wanted to mention that.
Absolutely.
But since we're talking about movement, we got to go into the hot topic. Dr. Mimi, please take us into our
I
I
was
am
gonna
so
say something.
excited that this is a hot topic once again. They are still unpacking the WNBA and our ladies. Come on. I am so excited that it's even, it's trending. Instead, it's
yeah.
still trending. You know what I'm saying? It started early in the season. Actually, it started last year with
Mhm.
Caitlin Clark and with Angel Reese, and it has just picked up. Now Juju's in the mix. You have so many ladies of the WNBA, and they just had the top. I just want to say the names of the top 10. They had the draft. The draft was phenomenal. I'll talk about some of the points I loved about it, and I watched the whole thing. Come on now. But number one pick, Caitlin Clark. Everybody knew that. Number two, Cameron Brink. Girlfriend looked like Cameron Diaz. We'll talk about that orange carpet. Then you had Camilo Cardozo, again, Rika Jackson, JC Sheldon, Aaliyah Edwards, Angel Reese, that's my girl, Alyssa Peel, Carla Letty, and Leah Lecan. Those are the top 10 picks of the WNBA. I'm telling you, Chicago, they made it good. They got Cardozo and they got Reese. Indiana got a whole bunch of people. They got Caitlin. They got Caitlin's teammate. They did good. They're gonna be like fire this year, and I think that's the excitement. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Indiana tickets may already be sold out. If not, or if not close to sold out, it's probably all sold out.
Wow.
And
Wow.
did you hear that
That's
her jersey was selling more than the Cowboys jerseys? Come
Come
on,
on, come
man.
on, come on.
That's
And,
right.
and this is what, and let me give kudos to the people behind the WNBA. They have been working hard to
Mhm.
get this done. This has been a long road, and and I love when the influencers of the WNBA give me perspective, and they said this is, the NBA is 25 years ahead of us. So when you see the disparity now, and that's the hot topic, everybody found out how much Caitlin Clark is going to get. So you hear the draft, and the draft, as a matter of fact, the draft for the football draft is this Thursday through Saturday. So the NFL draft for all of the football players are coming out from Thursday to Saturday. Okay. The number one pick, I think, guaranteed may be 5 to 10 million. I'll get, maybe the commissioner could come on and tell us about that. But, now the number one pick for the WNBA, her starting salary is 76,000.
And
I
I
think
just want to
people
mention that
are
it was
blown
10
away.
million. They said 10 million, top rated NBA draft, 10 million, right? And they said that it's 137 times greater than Caitlin's.
Yeah, it's kind of the
So that's a,
disparity is almost unconscionable.
yeah.
But again, perspective.
Mhm.
The NBA has a $1 billion deal for their television for playing games on TV. The WNBA has a $60 million deal to play games, to be shown on TV and stream. The disparity is there. Okay. How are we going to fix the disparity is really what we need to be more aware of.
in the
Again,
forefront.
Get out there. That's right. Get out there and buy those tickets.
That's it.
Get out there and buy those, get to those games. I will be, hear me, I will be at the DC games with my girl Dee Dee out there. I will be out there on the DC games. I'll be watching them. For any time that I can get tickets to the Brooklyn Nets, tell me, I'll be there too. I'm gonna be at the Phoenix All-Star game this July. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So that's how we get the disparity up. It's if you love it, go out there and support them. Buy their gear, buy their merch. Caitlin Clark, like you just said, her jersey was selling bigger than the I think it was who was on the Cowboys? Was it not the Cowboys? Was it Mahone? I think somebody's one she was selling more than, but it was somebody big, which is wonderful. Go out there and get Angel Reese, Cardozo. Go get their jerseys and put them up there. Now let me have
a jersey. I think I can wear a jersey.
What? You can totally wear a jersey.
I should. Right.
How you do it? We do it cute. We do it cute.
Put some little shorts on, some denim shorts. You know ladies know how to do it. Don't play.
And I think that's part of it is this enjoying there's a difference between a women's game and a men's game. And I think people are enjoying the difference. I was watching it with my bestie. She was watching something. These girls are doing it. They are rough and tough and slamming. I said, yes, they are. They're playing the game and they're playing it cute. They got their lashes on. They got their makeup done. Their hair did. I am excited about that stuff. Come on.
That's right. That's right. That's the perfect way to do it.
And when you watch it, they look like they're balling harder than the NBA. Sorry, guys. I love y'all, but they really do.
Absolutely. You watch because I think the girls' game has such a deep defensive component that the men's game don't have. Let's just be honest. Right. The men's game does not have as big as a defensive game as the women do.
Great point.
So I think because you see, you're able to see action on both sides of the court. With the men's game, you're just looking for the dunk or the good, or the good layup or something like that. That's what gets you going in the men's game. So you don't see all of that checking and stuff. The women game, they are going in.
Right.
That's
technical basketball.
Yes.
Right.
They're playing ball. Right. And I love it. And I think that's what people I've heard that's really gotten into it the last few years. They're saying it's a better game. It's a better full, from beginning to end, you get a better game. And I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Absolutely. So we have another hot topic.
Yes.
It's that, Dr. Mimi.
We love our
next hot topic. Just
talk about the ladies.
Yeah, and talk about the ladies, but real quick, I just want to go back real quick and don't feel bad for Caitlin because she just signed a $28 million deal with Nike. Okay, don't feel bad for her.
But that's over 8 years. We do have to mention
over 8 years.
Over 8 years.
Give me something over 8 years, like $28 million.
I'm okay with that. I do that.
And it's not her only one. She got one for State Farm too. But anyway.
Well, there's several actually. There's not just State Farm. Yeah, she's got several.
She got several. So, they're doing, and I think that's the point, that there's an avenue and they're going to keep on doing it. But let's talk about another sister in the mix here. A few weeks ago, let's go back to Color Purple. And when that came out, and the big controversy was that Taraji P. Henson wasn't, Oprah and Tyler wasn't feeling Taraji because Oprah was insinuating that it was Taraji's fault for Color Purple kind of tanking. No. But there's been a comeback for Taraji because yes, she is on Time's 100 most influential women. Come on, Taraji P. Henson. Yes. And I think that's a hot topic because she was taking a good licking out there for those Oprah and Tyler Perry lovers. But Shima and I was just talking about, sometimes when you're the one to come out and dare to say something about what people don't want you to say about the golden people out there, she took a beating, but thank God she did. And that, I think that's what people do when they dare to say the truth, or they dare to come out to change a narrative or to change a situation. You look at Colin Kaepernick, and you know, because he dared to change it. Yeah, he took the beating, but look, it opened for so many other players. Remember, he was one of the only African American quarterbacks at that time. Now they can't find enough African American quarterbacks to put on these teams. He opened the door. He was one of the big door openers. And let's just back up a little bit. I think Taraji was able to see and say what she said really because of Monique.
Right. Yeah. You almost feel like they all felt a desperate moment. It was their own, but after you lay on the sword, because that's what they do, whether they know they're going to do it or not. After, there's a resolve that says, well, you know what? It's a done deal. I said it. I did it. I was angry about it. I'm hurt. I want my pain known. But the resolve, and I guess the bomb or the salve is when it doesn't happen to the next one. When I broke this door down or this wall down, or broke the ceiling enough to say, well, I might get the backlash, but this young girl who just started acting and she's 18 and she's out here trying to make it, she doesn't have to do what I had to do.
Right. And
she'll resolve, but
and she'll know, the next generation, right, will know how to speak up because of it too, right? Because it doesn't mean that it won't happen. It doesn't mean that the powers that be, the producers, whoever's in charge won't try it again. It means that I'm giving the next generation the courage to speak up because they saw somebody else do it. And I'm educating them because, listen, Monique came on when she was interviewed. She started to educate people on how the process works in order to be able to know how to make the changes. So I think that's important too, because now the next generation will understand how to go into these contracts and how to get what they actually deserve.
Sherry Shepherd talks about that too with her contract. And I forget, I know Barbara Walters was one of the people who helped her understand the contractual process. There was I can't think of the person who helped Sherry Shepherd, but she was another one saying she had to start talking about, and she was learning from what other people were telling her. Don't accept this. Make sure you get this in your contract. So thank you to Monique. Thank you to Taraji putting it out there. You know, I was mentioning Simone Biles. You know, it was a tragedy. How dare her at the Olympic Games, you know, representing the United States. How dare her say, I don't have the emotional stamina to do this job. I mean, to do this, go out there and do that. She broke it down a couple of weeks ago, giving us interviews, and she was like, I was depressed. All of that stuff I was suppressing with that man abusing them. We forget that piece. These young girls for years were sexually abused by their doctor coach. And the abuse they had under those programs. With those Russian coaches. We forget all of these are babies.
And how dare we, fans, how dare we say, okay, we don't care, and we've already given a disclaimer, not that we don't, but it says, how dare we not care that you can't handle it because we want to see you compete.
We want to see you.
When have we become so? I'm telling you, I can't handle it. I'm telling you, it's too much for me. Oh, but we're mad at you because you didn't.
The backlash. How dare you
didn't push through? Because that's what and you know I'm gonna say it. That's what the black woman is supposed to do. Just do it anyway. No,
be strong.
Exactly. And then to talk about Monique, when me and Dr. Mean was talking about it a little earlier backstage. She was angry and she showed it. So her situation didn't come out the best.
But immediately she got the tag.
She got the tag, the angry black woman. So the better part of Taraji coming out, whether it was acknowledged or not, or whether she went into it thinking, well, I don't want to be the black angry woman. She just didn't come the way that Monique came, but it was the same thing.
But it was hers was a pouring out too when she initially did it. She cried. She was hurt.
Right, but she wasn't angry.
She wasn't angry. No,
it didn't take the anger.
hurt.
But that's what I'm saying. They're both saying the same thing.
Yeah.
But Monique's demeanor, they trashed her because of her demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's not gonna. Why should I curtail how I feel or my mouth? Because this is how I make
you feel right. It make you feel better,
right?
And
I'm angry about it. Why should I not say I'm angry about it?
Still not getting paid.
When I spoke softly about it, you didn't listen to me at all.
Right.
When I went the right channels, you didn't listen to me at all. So now I am angry.
Right.
Absolutely. So once again, still not getting paid for the Parkers. Still not getting paid for the reruns of the Parkers. Still.
That's right.
And don't matter if she's angry, don't matter if she was quiet, don't matter if she never said anything, she's still not getting paid.
And let me just say, because I've just discovered that there's a station that is acquiring all these old shows. Most of them are all African American shows, wonderful shows. The station is Dabble. When I tell you the Parkers is being held down, the Parkers, sister to sister, and half and one-on-one and girlfriends are holding this station down because for some reason, whoever this person is, and I will find that information out and put it in the notes or the comments, but somebody who owns Dabble decided that this is who they can get the rights for. And when I tell you they run it.
Listen,
so
I was going to say, here's where it comes in, where we as people have to do better, right? We as women in the industry have to do better about understanding what we deserve. Monique, that's what she talked about, right? Because now the Parkers are in a situation, I'm using her because she put it out there, but the Parkers are in a situation where now this new network picks them up and they won't get paid for it because it wasn't written. It was not written. So it's not something that is available to them or they're privy to because they didn't own the rights to it. And they didn't get any royalties behind it, and now they're not going to get any of the syndication money. So that's where we have to educate ourselves so that going forward, this does not happen again. And I think that's the other reason why she was mad, and she said it because listen, nobody's telling people, nobody's telling them that this is what you need to do, right? Because they're taking advantage of what people don't know in the industry and then taking their money from them. So, we have to do better, right? We have to do better and make sure that we have the right resources in order to get what we deserve out there.
Yeah.
So
I'll say this
to take a quick break. So go ahead, Dr. Melissa, before we take this quick break.
No. When we come back, we'll talk about, because I think what I also want to do when we come back is just related to our lives. We see these stars and stuff, but there's a relation that we need to now apply for us as, as in whatever industry you're in out there. So we'll talk about that when we come back.
Hello, and we are back. So let's bring the ladies in, continue this conversation, and then go on to our next topic. So just mention before we went on break, you wanted to mention, our own lives and how people can relate what we were discussing about the entertainers in their own lives.
Absolutely. And, I think, I work in education. Tracy, you work in in capital and banking, and Shima, And what?
Finance.
I said capital and banking. Money. But and Shima in education, and we all do coaching and mentoring. And I think, going, I've learned to speak up for myself. And it took me a while. I remember when I was in charge of one of the largest districts in New Jersey, and I was not getting as much money as everybody else that worked in really small districts and were, I'll just say, the white man was almost all of them. I was like number, I don't know, 25 or something on the list of how much people were getting paid. And I was the second largest district and doing a good job doing it. And I remember trying to convince myself, like, what am I going to do differently going forward? And it took me a moment, but once I got once I got and it takes the courage. You talked about courage and Taraji's courage and Monique's courage, and sometimes that you watch somebody else. These are trailblazers, so when you see them blazing the trail, it gives you the same courage, right? It encourages you. And I remember when I walked into that next contract, and I said, well, this is what I have to get paid. And I kind of looked at them, and they looked at I said, this is what I could do. And I said, that's okay. I'm good where I am. So I don't have to come here. And I remember the first time I did that, the feeling I got that I really fought for myself. And since then I've kind of stuck to my guns. Even the last contract I had, I said, well, this is my daily rate. And I just kind of smiled and I heard the person who was trying to approve it say, that's way too much. We don't even pay superintendents that kind of money. Well, I won't do it without that. So, I knew what my bottom was. So I said, it's so, and they didn't even get close to the bottom. They ended up giving me, pretty much what I asked for, but it took a minute. And I think that's what we have to get to. We have to develop a resolve. This is what I'm worth. And
it's
I'm
the
not
art of the walk away.
And I would say too, like, do your research too, right? To know, because listen, you're not going to know what everybody around you is making, but you can do research and you can find out, what those numbers are, not for individuals, but for the industry.
Right.
So that you'll know exactly what you should be making in that industry. Now, I have to be honest. I have to be really honest. I've been in finance and investment banking for a very long time. And at times I was the only woman in the room, right? But I am very outspoken. Probably doesn't seem like it most of the time, but I don't let people get over on me. That's not something that I do. So in that industry, I was always the person to speak up, not just for myself. I really did understand what I knew and what I was bringing to the table. And I got tested a lot. I got tested a lot just for them to see exactly what I know or how I would get the answer. But I will say this, I always spoke up for myself, and I always spoke up for the ones that were coming behind me, particularly if I hired them. I would always speak up for the people that were coming behind me to make sure that they were treated, especially if it was women. I'm not going to lie, but for everybody, but especially for the women, because we are treated differently, to make sure that they got, exactly what they should, treated exactly what they should. And I have gone to bat for people in the industry. Just being there and knowing, what it takes to be there and sitting in a room with, and I'm going to say it this way, the good old boys, right? And being the only Black person sometimes and the only woman most times. So I definitely, you have to speak up. You have to
because they get what they want.
Exactly.
And when you come out the room and you compare, or like you said, and you find out, month, 2 year later, you're like, what the world? So why not? And
they're banking on you sitting there. They're banking on the fact that you're not going to say anything because most people are just happy to be in the room. So they're banking on the fact that you're not going to ruffle their feathers or shake up the room in any way.
No, shake it up.
Okay, you're here, be glad. Okay, but you're here, and what are you doing?
What are you doing? And this grateful thing. And Tracy, I think you have to say the good old boys, because they're there. I'm dealing with a bunch of good old boys right now, and I'm watching what they're doing with there's no fear. They don't have no issues. They don't care who see it. They don't care who talk about it. They're doing just what they want to do. Almost daring you to say something about it. I dare you. And if you do, who gonna tell me different? So you are in the room with the good old boys. You better speak up and let them know that you ain't taking none of that.
That's right. And like Michelle Obama said, right? If you're sitting at the table, if you have a seat at the table, use your voice.
You're supposed to be there.
Use your voice. That's right. You are supposed to be there.
Because if you don't do it, because in our own industries, we're the Tarajis. We are the Moniques.
That's
right. I have this letter pen that will go out of some bias and continually being ignored in my association. They don't have no one of color continually being brought up to the forefront to do conferences, to do speeches, to do workshops. And I tested the system by putting it in my own. So you can't tell. So one, and I was waiting for this test. So now that I tested the system, I know you didn't do it, and I know I wasn't even part of it. And let's just say I know how to do a speech and a workshop and all that stuff.
Exactly.
So you can't tell me why you didn't. And the last time when I did that, my reviews came back all 5. So I know how to do stuff. Come on now. Exactly. So now that you don't pick us, now what the problem is, and I have every intention of doing that because I may be blackballed within them. But you see, I serve somebody higher, and he says he opens any door. He opens the doors that people can't shut. So I'm not concerned with what they may try to do.
That's right.
It don't have to be your lane.
I can create a lane, right?
Create a lane. That's right.
I can create a lane. And if nothing else, all the knockdowns, all the drag outs, all the roadblocks teaches you, okay, so this is not my lane. Or I know how to drive. There will be a lane.
Right? Watch me.
There will be.
Watch me blaze this lane for myself then. There'll be something else opening. Exactly. So again, thank you to those trailblazers. Thank you to those voices. Thank you to those people that give us the courage to now do our own thing. So just want to shout them out.
That's right. That's right. So before we close out the show, we wanted to go into a little bit of what's coming up. You see, the sun has been shining. Well, I don't know about where you are, but in North Carolina, the sun has been shining.
Don't be showing off.
We got a little bit of sun in Jersey.
We got a little bit today.
I have to, because it's been warm. The sun has been shining here. So we are going to ask the question, what is a summer body? And I have something that I want to read, and then I'm going to give my own take on this. But I want to read something first because I was looking around to see what they were saying out there about what a summer body is. So it says, and this is according to Yahoo Life, right? It says a summer body implies that to be able to enjoy summer or to be seen as attractive, bodies need to look a certain way. So this is what they're saying out there, right? Because of course, this is what society puts out there on what a body should look like, right? So then they talk about, so here's another one with a different take on it. And this is called the Front Climbing Club. And it says, the reality is that obtaining a summer body is unimportant. It's not downright, it says it's downright unhealthy. The goals, hopes, and dreams you have for yourself should be your year-round goals, not just in preparation for summer. So I love that they said that. I love that they talked about that. That is much better. Go ahead, Shima. It looks like
I gotta laugh because I'm gonna. What most people are gonna tell you, because they've already ditched their New Year's Eve resolution goals and stop going to the gym and eating whatever they want to eat. So. Most people are going to tell you that summer is going to get whatever body they got. Yeah. That's what they tell you. But I'm going to tell you what now. I agree with that to a certain extent. For me, summer body is anytime that I can have less clothes on and the sun. Yeah, I know I'm going to say that. I'm always going to say that. And the sun can touch whatever portion. I know. The sun touches whatever portion of my body that is respectively available. For me, it feeds me. For me, it warms me. It makes me one with the earth. It gives me energy. So for me, my summer body is getting as close as I possibly can to that warmth, that yellow, that gold, whether it's a suntan on my skin, whether it's just walking in the park and I just feel it feel the sun on me. We don't get a whole lot in New Jersey. I know how it is up here in the area where we get off
Charlotte.
Right. I knew she was gonna say that. But that's what the summer body is for me. I want to be able to be more in tune with the sun, which means I'd have to have less clothing on.
Less clothing.
I need to
that's what she needs to get to.
That's what
summer body is no clothes on.
But I want to say this, right? A summer body is the body that you feel good in. You as your individual self, whatever gives you more energy, whatever gives you more confidence, whatever makes you feel good in your clothes, whatever makes you, when you go out to brunch with your girlfriends or when you are in the bed with your significant other, yep, we're going to put that out there too. You are in the bed with your significant other. However you feel good about your body is a summer body, because it really is about how you feel, Yeah. If you feel good, you look good. Right? You exude that. And that's what a summer body is.
That's the summer body. I was going to say that too. For me, a summer body is whatever you're confident in. It's when you put one on what you want.
That's right.
Feel free in what you want, and you walk out there with confidence. You walk out there like twirling in the sun, enjoying the atmosphere, going out and enjoying. It's like you said, brunch or the beach or the pool.
Absolutely,
that's the summer body.
I just it's not a shade the other day.
Right.
Confidence is an outfit.
Right.
Confidence is one of your outfits. If you got all them wonderful summer clothes in your closet, in your drawer, when you put those on, go back and put on the confidence outfit too.
Come on now. That's the summer body. The confidence. I've seen people avoid, years. I've seen people for years avoid pools and beaches. My body, I can't go on the beach. My body, I can't wear a bathing suit. My body, my arms are too big. My legs are too fat. My hips are too wide. My boobs are small. My boobs are too big.
And that's exactly what I mean, right? Like it is where you feel the best and where you feel confident. So when in a case like that, where people are saying, I don't have this and I don't have that, and this is too much and that's too much. Well, then that's when you say to yourself, what do I want to know? And not even that, because listen, everybody should have goals for themselves, whatever that is, doesn't matter. And when it comes to your body, and I'm not just talking about how your body looks, I'm talking about, again, going back to how it feels. But if that's the way you feel, then what do you want to do that's going to make you feel the way that you want to feel?
I agree. I agree to a point, Tracy, because for too many years, first I was told you too big to go out there looking wearing that kind of bathing suit. I'm just being honest. That's what I was told. I couldn't wear shorts. I couldn't wear, bathing suits to some extent. I was told I couldn't. Okay. Yeah. So for so many years, I'm dealing in this, like, I can't go to the beach. I shouldn't go here. I shouldn't go there. And I had to give that up. Because I had to learn, I had to develop my own sense of confidence, my own sense of freedom, and put on my own summer body. And like I said, my body was, everything wasn't, all, where I am today. But I sure did walk out there with that confidence, because now it's my body and it's my summer and it's my life that I have to enjoy. That's why I said it's the confidence you go out there with. And too many people, I've seen them, not going these places because of what they thought they shouldn't be. So
here's the thing: we're basing it on people are basing it on what society says they need to look like, right? So I'm so glad that you said I built up my own body confidence, because that's really what it's all about. It's not about what you see in the magazines, what you see now on social media, right? It's not about that. It's about how you feel, how you show up, how you exude your own confidence, how you feel in your own body. So I want people to like completely discredit what they see out there. It's about being in a healthy body now. I will say that, right? But that's not about what you look like. It's not about being, 24, whatever they call it, 36, 24, 35, whatever that is. But I don't even know what the measurements are supposed to be. That's not what it's all about. And if you look at the charts, and I'm going to say in this country, based on your height, the weight that they tell you that you need to be is so low. it's so low. Like I'm not at my ideal weight based on United States charts, right?
No, those charts are not based on them. They're not based on African American women. That is
based on most women.
Right.
Who they based on? They ain't based on me. My arm already messed it up. You know, my arm too big. I mean,
yeah.
I'm 5'10". I'm 5'10". That's the average man. You know, forget. I just blew the whole chart away.
Yeah.
But the point is really gaining that level of confidence. And I'll say this: I think the summer body is also. You should every woman and man for that matter. You should know what you feel comfortable in and what works on your body type. So that when you put on that bathing suit, that two-piece, what two-piece looks good on you? What bathing suit looks good on you? What clothes, I've learned to appreciate my shoulders. So I'm always going to show that part of my body off. You know what I'm saying? Learn what looks good on you. Learn what accentuates the things in your body that are beautiful, that really make you feel like confident, whatever.
That goes along.
That. And then buy those types of clothes, because that's another thing. I think sometimes we go out there with the wrong type of clothes for our body type, and now they don't fit us right. They don't hug us right.
I'm going to challenge. Yeah, I'm going to challenge that.
To comparison,
right?
And you both spoke about it.
That's right.
And we talked about it in the Ask Fem Talk question.
That's right.
It speaks to comparison. Just because you see, and I'm a firm believer as a big woman. Just because you see the size 2 person wear it and they've made it
for them
and an 18 or a 20 or 22, it doesn't mean you can't have it. I'm not telling you what to do, but does it actually fit your body?
Right. And
get comparison out of your head
and learn and
it
robs you of now, right?
And knowing who you are, not knowing what you should be or thinking what I should look like. It robs you of knowing who you are and what you like and what you want to see when you look in the mirror or lay on the beach or put on your clothes.
Right. Try it.
What I appreciate now is you see more and more now when you are going on the internet to shop, they give you a smaller size and a larger size so that you can do the right comparisons for your own body type. So I love that they're doing that now to say that this looks good in any body type, really, right? Because I think you should accentuate the things that you love about your body. Like Mimi talked about her shoulders. You love your shoulders, accentuate your shoulders. If you love your breasts, accentuate your breasts. Like do it based on what you love about your body and not what you see on those pictures where people say this is what it looks like. And I would say, listen, I'm gonna put the healthy part into it, right? And not what the body looks like. But if you can reduce your inflammation, if you can reduce your stress, if you can increase your energy, if you don't have any joint pain, if you're not dealing with headaches, if you can make sure that you're living in that body's going to feel good. And that body's going to be ready to go out there and jump in the water at the beach and soak in the sun. So if you can get a healthy body and reduce all those things that are bogging your body down and making you feel ill, that's the summer body that you need.
That's the summer body. That's the body that feels good, can walk themselves to the beach.
Can breathe.
Can breathe by the time they get to that part of the sand. Because you're dragging everything. So that's the summer body that got the stamina to get all that stuff to the beach right in the front, right by the water. That's the summer body. And lastly, in learning your body type, I had to learn that my height, I'm 5'10". My height does not come from my legs. My height comes from my torso. I have a very long torso. So what I look like in a one piece that Shima might have on may not look right on my body because I have a different torso.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what we talked about, learning your type. Going to a store and let somebody size your breasts and tell you what cup you are, what's the circumference of your back, your hips, your legs, so that when you put on clothes now, it fits you. And get a good tailor to tack in the little sides so that things hug right, fit right, and feel good on you. That's the summer body.
And be naked. No, sir.
And just to end the show, be naked in the summertime. So everyone out there, we love you.
We love you guys.
Go get your summer body on. Whatever feels good for you. Go get those clothes that make you feel good. Like she said, confidence is an outfit. So exude the confidence that you have. Go wear your clothes in the summertime. Go out and bask in
somebody.
the
sun. God, Tracy, wear them or not.
I'm gonna be here in 2 weeks. I'm taking the tagline from this guy that we follow. When I tell you
all year, he said that.
Right. He's been saying it since Christmas. Summer be here in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So get ready.
Right. That's right. But I want to mention him. So we're gonna blow him up a little bit. So his name is Mr. Health and Wealth on Instagram, and he talks about the complaining that people do about their body, and he really pushes you in these videos. He's pushing you to do something about it. So even what you were talking about earlier, Dr. Mimi, in terms of people just kind of saying things that they are expressing what they feel is their limitations. Let me put it that way. Absolutely. He is speaking to those people and he is saying, listen, what are you going to do? That goes back to what I said earlier. Get up and move. Get up and move. And your movement doesn't have to look like anybody else's. You don't have to do long hours in the gym, but you need to get up and move. If you need help with that, shameless plug, I'm your girl. I got you covered. I can help you get your body right for the summer and the body that you want to live in for the summer. So that's a shameless plug. I had to I had to put Mr. Health and Wellness out there because now summer's in 2 weeks and he says this all year long. So
she got the virtual video early in the morning. Join it.
That's right.
You may not have been there.
That's right. Yes, so I love you all out there. We thank you for being here and joining us in the conversation. Don't forget to send your Ask Fem Talk questions to femtalktv@gmail.com so that we can answer your questions and engage with you. Take care.